So, one of the main reasons I never trip on Trump is because I recognize the levels of government. You have your local governments, your county governments, your state governments, and then you got the federal, right? Federal, yeah, it supersedes all those, but the governments that have the most play in your day-to-day life are your local county and states. Okay, so after Puerto Rico went through its whole disaster, you had so many people jumping down Trump's throat. Oh my goodness, Puerto Rico, how can we just leave Puerto Rico without power? How can we do all these things to Puerto Rico and be so mean and be so cruel? Deal is, Puerto Rico has its own government, its own local government, and well, let's read this Washington Examiner article. FBI arrest ex-Puerto Rico officials for disaster aid funded payoffs by Tim Pierce. Yeah, we're not, I don't care about all that. The FBI has arrested two former Puerto Rico officials for funneling disaster aid payments to politically connected contractors. Sounds familiar here in Jersey. The Wednesday arrest have prompted concern on Capitol Hill that the island's corruption will blunt the effectiveness of recently passed disaster aid bill. Rep. Raul, I'm not even trying that last name, has called for Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rosello's resignation, according to the Washington Post. I messed up that paragraph. The FBI indictment charges Puerto Rico's former Education Secretary, Julia Keechler, former Health Insurance Agency Chief, Angela Avila Mareo, and four others with crimes related to grifting U.S. disaster aid. Keller and Avila Mareo both served in Rosello's administration before leaving in April and June, respectively. Rosello's... Oh, come on, man. Seriously? Go. Stop. Rosello himself is not under investigation. Guadravel is the chairman of the House Natural Resources Committee, which is overseeing the recovery effort on the island from Hurricane Maria in 2017. We've crossed that crucible now, G said. The restoration of accountability is so key going forward. The arrest. Oh my goodness, Examiner. The arrests come weeks after Congress passed a $19 billion disaster aid bill to the island that is still struggling after the September 2017 hurricane severely damaged the island's infrastructure and power grid. The bill, considered a victory for Democrats at the time, provided much more funding for Puerto Rico than President Trump wanted. Trump and several House Republicans had stalled the bill for weeks. Trump said Washington had already supplied the U.S. territory with plenty of aid. House conservatives resisted what they saw as an attempt by House Democrats to pass a larger funding bill without debate. Trump criticized Puerto Rico's political leaders as incompetent or corrupt in April, while protesting Democrats' calls to provide more funding to the territory. And that's a big part of the reason why I'm covering this, is because, yeah, you got to slam dance. But the deal is that there's always corruption. Make no mistake, guys. Every time someone starts crying, particularly if they come from a particular political party or something like that, oh my goodness, this, that, and the third. They're usually projecting. And when it comes to this disaster aid relief, I feel terrible for the people of Puerto Rico, but they definitely need to be checking their governor and their elected representation, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And guess what? You don't need absolute power to corrupt. I can guarantee you that. You give somebody a mic, I would like to say probably about 65% of the population access to an ungodly amount of money. And hey, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do with it. Good luck. All right. Good luck having them do exactly what it is that, you can tell somebody to look at the wall and they'll turn their head 1,000,003 ways. So if you sit there and don't hold people accountable, then you end up in situations like this. I can't help but feel like many of Puerto Rico's issues, if the money were being funneled properly, were going to the proper places without the, political connections and everything else like that, then they would be better off. I'm not sure. I haven't been to Puerto Rico, so I'm not sure how much better off they would be, but I know that this type of corruption cannot be tolerated. But it is what it is. So with that being said, all the internet stuff, if you like this video, toss me a like or dislike it. I'm not scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to catch videos of interest every single day. Share because sharing is caring, and YouTube's definitely not going to do it. And speak. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it right for the Trump administration and everyone else to be like, hold on, let's get a grip of what we got with Puerto Rico, because we keep giving them money, and they're clearly, all the funds are clearly not going where they're supposed to be going. So with all that being said, let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next video.